What is happening, guys? Welcome back, Pokemon Stadium 1, Part 35, I think. Round 2. Last time we took on the Pokeball tournament of the Poke Cup, so this time we're going to do the Great Ball of the Poke Cup. There's a lot of Poke going on with that statement there, so that might have been confusing, but I hope not. Anyway, as always, we're going to take the registered team that we have. I don't like doing multiple teams because I'm too fucking lazy to make another team. Anyway, this juggler guy, he is rocking the Gengar Evolution action, and I think really this is probably going to be a good one for these three. Let's see how this goes. So this guy going to lead with Gengar. Surprisingly, Gengar only level 50 despite being one of this guy's best Pokemon. And as you can see there, Fisher is going to be faster than Gengar. And that Earthquake is going to do a huge amount of damage and bring that thing down in one hit. So that is fantastic. This guy, however, not messing around, going to bring out Hypno as well, so he's using two of his best guys. Not pulling any punches, not using Ghastly or Drowsy, using the best Pokemon on his team. So we're going to hit that thing with a Body Slam. That's going to do a little less than half. And he is not messing around either. He is going for the Hypnosis. But that shit not going to hit. And we're not going to stick around to get hit by another one. We're just going to finish this guy off right now. But unfortunately, the Hyper Beam is going to miss as well, even though Hyper Beam has 90% accuracy and Hypnosis is 60. He is going to hit the Hypnosis this time, and that freaking sucks. But I'm assuming that he's going to be rocking the Dream Eater as well, so I'm going to switch out at this point. Not only prevent that damage, but basically it's a free switch if he does go for the Dream Eater. And in fact, he is going to go for the Dream Eater. And that is not going to do anything because I, of course, am not asleep. And I can straight up go for the Earthquake now, but he is going to switch out. I'm assuming we're going to be seeing Jinx. But it's actually going to be Haunter, which doesn't make any sense because that thing is dead. There's absolutely no way that thing is going to be able to survive. And that thing is taken down in one hit. So of course his last Pokemon is a Pokemon he just switched out of, which is Hypno. And this guy is in trouble. He's not going to be able to put me to sleep, so it's actually going to go for Agility here. I don't really understand that, but whatever. Or Metronome. I don't know why he doesn't just go for Psychic. But it does not matter. He's not going to be able to live the Earthquake. And Powa, looking like a boss out here. We avoid all damage, and that's kind of sad. It is just the Great Ball tournament, though, so I'm not too concerned about these guys not being amazing yet. Not gonna hype on it too much, but I am going to start to worry just a tad. Anyway, we're gonna leave with Bandit on this one. And it looks like it's a good lead on my part. I do have the Psychic. And we are 5 levels higher. And unfortunately it is going to be able to live. And that's just annoying. It hits me with the Acid. And that just does not matter. It doesn't do anything. It lowers my defense, I guess, but I mean, it's like, it did 20 damage. What? So anyway, Bakar goes down there. And the next Pokemon is Rapidash. We're going to go for the T-Bolt here. And that is going to do a huge amount of damage, over half. It's going to set up a Reflect. But Bandit definitely not rocking any physical moves, so that really isn't going to do anything. And this T-Bolt should finish it off. And now, down to the last Pokemon here, it is going to be Hitmonchan. So again, that we have the Psychic, and we'll see if that does anything. That is going to be super effective, and it is going to take it down in one hit. Well, that was easy. So we take 27 damage this time. That's a little worse than last battle where we took no damage. These guys, I don't know what they're doing, but they're just not that good. I mean, the Pokeball tournament was harder than this. What is going on here? Making my choices very quickly here. We're leading with Fissure. Got leading with Tentacruel, and that's cool. That's cool. Actually, it's cruel, not cool. But what are you gonna do at this point? Anyway, we'll hit that thing with an Earthquake. That is gonna be super effective. We score a critical, so that is definitely going to bring it down. So that's hilarious. And it's going to send in Lickitung next here. So we're going to hit this thing with a Body Slam to the face. And that's going to do a huge amount of damage. Ah, my ears. It misses with the Supersonic there. That could have been annoying. And we're not going to waste any time here. We're just going to finish this thing off right now with a Hyper Beam to the face. And that's going to be a critical hit, and that thing is dead as shit. Its last Pokemon is going to be Magneton. Unfortunately, I am going to have to recover here, so I might actually take some damage. That would suck balls. And there I am recharging. Here comes the T-Wave. And that's going to paralyze me. Still haven't taken any damage yet. But I wouldn't be surprised if I took some damage right here. Oh, it's actually going for Supersonic. And it is going to confuse me, and that is the Parafusion action. Unfortunately, I am paralyzed on the spot, so this is really annoying. It's finally going to start attacking, and it's going to use Thunderbolt. And that's going to do a decent chunk. And we're going to smack ourselves in the face here. And that is not what I wanted. As you can see here, this is getting really annoying. That recharge turn. Quite unfortunate. And it's actually going to score a critical hit with Thunderbolt here, so it's actually going to bring down Fissure. And yeah, that's kind of annoying. Kind of annoying. Just a tad. Just a little bit annoying. Not too annoying, just a little bit. Luckily, we do have power. And this guy can only Supersonic me. And I believe its other move is going to be Screech. So its only chance of winning is for me to just hit myself in confusion every time. And that's not going to happen. Earthquake is going to tear open the ground, and obviously that Magneton... That Magneton could have been level 100 and it still would have died. You just don't mess with power. So that took longer than expected. Obviously, that guy way more, you know, advanced with his Thunder Wave and Supersonic techniques. And we've got an Electric Grass. You know who's going to be perfect for that? Fisher, because he's got the Blizzard and the Earthquake. And there's Magneton again. Will it survive? Yes, it will survive. Holy tits. It's not even messing around. This thing is just going for Thunder. And that's gonna miss. So, yeah. Hit that thing with a Body Slam. That thing is dead. We'll see what this guy wants to do next. Hopefully he just has 3 grass types and then, or 3 electric types, and then I just Earthquake everything. But he's going to send in a grass type this time. Vileplume not messing around. Level 51. We'll see if it can take a Blizzard. It can definitely take a Blizzard. In fact, it might be able to take 2 Blizzards. And, of course, here comes the Paralyze. Because that is literally the strategy of every trainer in this game, is to paralyze you. And now it's going to go for the Mega Drain. And that is going to do a little bit of damage. Not too much. But because of that heal, he is going to be able to live the Blizzard. And a Body Slam will be able to bring this thing down. It's not messing around this time. It is going for Petal Dance. The second most powerful move for grass types. Under only Solar Beam. Petal Dance is very similar to Thrash. In fact, they're the only 2 moves of their kind in this generation, where you attack for 2 to 3 turns and then become confused after. Interesting fact. Outrage was added in Generation 2. In fact, the only Dragon-type move in the entire Generation 1 is Dragon Rage. So, while Dragonite, of course, had overpowered stats, it was not. It had no stab other than Sky Attack or Fly, and I don't believe he could learn either of those. So it was actually impossible for Dragonite to have a stab move. Fun fact. And unfortunately, that second slash is going to bring me down, but not before we have dealt massive damage to his team. So we're going to bring in Dragonite. And that Blizzard will destroy that mushroom. Every time he says, "There goes the battle," I just imagine something like flying out a window or something. And there it goes. We've got a Gentleman. And this guy is looking like a good team. Like, this team looks impressive. So it's going to be a battle between normal types. Kangaskhan versus Fisher. Fisher's going to have the advantage on the speed. We're going to exchange critical hits there. But Fischer's able to take it a little bit better. Obviously, Fischer has the less of the HP, but much better defense. The next Pokemon is Raichu. And we know how powerful this thing is, so we got to be careful. We are faster than it, so Earthquake will do a huge amount of damage. And it barely holds on. It is going to be able to get off a Thunderbolt. And that's going to do a decent chunk of damage. We don't have to worry about static. So we can just straight up body slam it and finish it off. Let's see what his last Pokemon is. It is going to be Dragonair. Let's see if Blizzard can take it down. That's going to do a huge amount of damage. And that thing is dead. That guy might be more difficult later. I'm sure he'll bring his Dragonite and the Ultra Ball and Master Ball around. We'll see what happens. So a great lead for me. Now, I'm actually going to... Well, can I go for Thunderbolt or Ice Punch? I'm going to go T-Bolt. It's probably the wrong move, but... God damn it. God damn it. I knew I should have gone for Ice Punch. I didn't think he'd switch out. Even heard me, right? I was like, I don't know. Maybe I should just... It's actually just going to go for Double Team. So that's good. Oh, shit, yo. This is the quarterfinal. I forgot about that. I always usually mention that. So luckily my stupid play doesn't cost me anything. He goes into Omastar. And this is going to do a huge amount of damage. It is going to be able to hold on, but just barely. So this guy's strategy seems to be Double Team. And it finally pays off. Toxic Double Team, that is a good strategy. Unfortunately, it's not going to work out here if he misses. This time we are going to hit that thing. There is, in fact, a difference in the number of reserve Pokemon. Its last Pokemon is, of course, its starter Pokemon, Pharaoh. And now we can Thunderbolt it without worrying about it switching out. And we'll see how much this does. I hope it'll one-hit KO it. And it does, good. That's why I wanted to go for Thunderbolt, because I knew I could kill it with one hit. And just in case he didn't bring any of his ground types. But of course he did, and I made the wrong play. But either way, I'm able to win that battle without taking any damage, so get pooped on. And here we are in the semifinal. And this guy does not appear to be messing around. I think I'm going to go this, this, and this. We'll see how that goes. This could be a mistake, but I always like mistakes. Anyway, we're going to lead with Power. I'm sure we'll see Seadra right away. But we actually see Pidgeot come in, which is perfect. And we can hit this thing with a Rock Slide. It's going to actually go for Sand Attack, though. What a faggot. And we just got done dealing with an accuracy person, and now we're dealing with another accuracy person. Rock Slide is going to hit, and that's going to do a huge amount of damage. We're going to go for the Seismic Toss to finish this thing off, as it will be a guaranteed kill. As long as I hit. Pidgeot literally does nothing. Of course, he now does have the switch advantage, and we'll see what he wants to do. He's going to go into Magmar. I don't know about that play. If it gets hit by an Earthquake from Power, I don't know. It's going to go for Body Slam, and that literally does nothing. That I did not see the green bar move there. That Earthquake is going to do a huge amount of damage, and that's going to take it down in one hit. This chick's last Pokemon is going to be Clefable. So I guess we'll go for a submission. Why not? It's going to go for Flash. Wow. Luckily that shit fails. Unfortunately, the submission not going to connect. And it's going to continue to try and lower my accuracy. The move continues to fail. This time we do hit the submission, and that is going to do a huge amount of damage. Unfortunately, I do take some of the recoil there, but whatever, it's not a big deal. If we can hit one more submission, we can bring this thing down. It continues to lower my accuracy, and poor Power, he must not be able to see anything. And again, he's going to miss because of these accuracy drops. Sad day. It's continuing. Flash. And I don't really see this guy's strategy. But if I don't hit him, I can't win. It's finally going to go for an attack, and speaking of submission, it's going to go for submission. And that's going to do a decent chunk of damage. It is going to take some recoil, though. Speaking of submission, we miss again, unfortunately, and that's like 4 misses in a row. Well, not in a row, but 4 misses total here. So we're just going to go for Earthquake now, because it's at a point where I can take it out with an Earthquake. And I don't have to worry about submissioning. Submission actually only has 10 more power against normal types than Earthquake because of Stab. But even Earthquake is going to miss. And Earthquake is 100% accuracy. Submission only an 80% accuracy. And he's going back to the Flash. And Power, I'm not going to switch out. I'm going to let Power do this, but he really needs to hurry the fuck up, because this is like 6 misses now out of like 7 attacks, and I understand that accuracy is low and shit, but I mean, come on, bro. See, she's gonna miss just from missing. And this time the Earthquake is going to hit. And it even gets the finally taken down line. So good for that Clefable. Pretty annoying with the accuracy drops. I think that's the dumbest strategy ever. Of course, that was actually a legal strategy, unlike the one chick who was doing the double teams, so fucking, yeah. Anyway, let's do the final, shall we? It's a Psychic. You know he's going to be tough. And he's still rocking a very similar team to what he was rocking in the Pokeball round. A very easy team. But, oh well. And we'll go with these three. We're going to lead with Tiny Wings, because that's how I like to roll. And he's going to lead with Clefable. So let's get things started with a Blizzard. And that's going to do a huge amount of damage. It's actually not going to do too much. Speaking of Blizzard, though, this could hurt. Oh! Tiny Wings able to take it. Not as well as I would have hoped, though. Of course, it is quad 4 effective. Being super effective against both Dragon and Flying. And unfortunately, I'm going to miss the Hyper Beam. And that's really bad, because that means Tiny Wings is not going to be able to continue. And just like that, the Psychic takes a lead. Actually, this was foolish to go into Derp, but that's what I did, so... Oh well! We're going to go for the Psychic. And that's going to do a huge amount of damage, bringing it down to a very low health. It is going to continue the chain of Blizzard. And that's going to be a super effective critical hit. So this is really bad. This guy's getting pretty lucky here. The miss on the Hyper Beam and a critical hit with Blizzard. And already just taking down one of his Pokemon. He's already taken down my lead Pokemon, my level 55, and done more than half to my second Pokemon. This could be trouble. Its next Pokemon is Drowsy. And I'm actually going to go for the Leech Seed here in fear of getting Hypnosis. And of course, it's going to evade the attack. So that really sucks. That's, again, a second miss for me with a 90% accuracy move. And now I'm in trouble here. If I'm not able to heal up enough of my health to get over 51 HP, I will die to Seismic Toss. And I'm not going to be able to do it with that weak Mega Drain, and it's going to be able to take out my second Pokemon just like that. So this is becoming very unfortunate. I didn't expect it to have Seismic Toss either. So I'm now down to my last Pokemon, and he still has a lot of HP on this Drowsy. And it hasn't used its best Pokemon yet, which I'm assuming is going to be its highest level at that point. I'm not going to go for Hyper Beam because I can't afford to let him have a free turn, especially if it doesn't kill or if it misses. So I'm just going to go for the Body Slam, and unfortunately it does not quite take it out, and it's just going to go for Hypnosis. If this hits, I'm in trouble. Luckily, it misses, and something finally goes my way in this battle. If that would have hit, I would have had to call shenanigans, because that would have been 2 misses for me on 90% moves. And the first time he uses a non-100% move, in fact it's a 60% move, he would have hit it, so that could have been bad. Oh, he actually used Blizzard a bunch, so never mind, but he never missed any of those. Anyway, his last Pokemon is, thank goodness, it is Execute. And I was hoping to see that, because now I can go for the Blizzard on this thing and hopefully take it out. That's going to deal a huge amount of damage, bringing it down to a point where I can kill it with a Body Slam. Even if this Psychic criticals, I don't think it would take me out, and it does not critical. It also does not drop the special. I'm not going to risk going for Hyper Beam to finish the battle, just because I'm scared of missing, since I've missed twice already. And we're going to be able to recover. This battle could have been extremely difficult if he would have had Hypno and Executor instead of his base form. So it's a good thing that we're in the Great Ball round. Otherwise, that could have been big trouble. But you see what I'm talking about when it comes to the computer getting all the hacks. In fact, if that Hypnosis would have hit, that could have been big trouble. But luckily, something goes our way, so that's all we needed to happen. One thing to go our way, and it did. So there you go. The Poke Cup Great Ball Round 2 is cleared. So next time, we'll take on the Ultra Ball round of the Poke Cup, so I'll see you guys then.